How's the quality sound on the mic?
Oh, it sounds really good. It sounds really good because I know that I had that mic and I don't know where it is. I bought a new mic. I used that for like so many years, but the issue was it kept falling, like every time I moved my desk and everything.
Yeah, I'm now figuring out how am I gonna hold this shit up.
Does it have like a stand and like your desk is in front of you?
Oh yeah, you know what? It just raised this desk up.
Oh damn! You have it?
I'm like an old ass man, bro. I do like the most basic shit. Like I didn't even have a webcam.
Nah, you're good, bro. I was actually surprised that you asked me for like a recommendation too, because I was thinking that's a first for me to ask or get recommended something. But I've been using this for this like C920 webcam for like 6 or 7 years. I know I've been using it since like the pandemic. It's been a while, and I've just kept the same format.
Yeah, it looks nice. Definitely see like someone streaming with it.
Mm-hmm.
See somebody stream. I could stream with this shit.
Dude,
Cooking beat.
it's such good quality too. I'm actually surprised. This is gonna be a lot different too, since like I think we did the Infinite one in either February or January. So it's gonna be a lot catered towards like just you being an individual versus like the entire crew. So definitely glad that this is actually able to happen too and everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. I have like right now on Spotify, I have 800,000 streams worldwide. So I need to find a way to connect to all those people on a deeper level, you know?
Yeah, dude. That's actually like one of the things I was gonna ask you. But we could get into that later. I mean, we
Yeah.
got a decent hour, maybe like 55 minutes bounce off each other. I tell this with everybody. It's sort of, I do keep it professional just on both of our ends, but I like to keep it just like a conversation, just like everybody else. So I'm trying to keep everybody as comfortable as possible because I know the last one I did or the person that's going to be coming out before yours would have to be Trippy, and I try to keep it as relaxed as possible. He was like, I would never imagine myself doing something like this. And then next thing you know, he's texting me or calling me and being like, yo, I'm ready to do a video with you. And I'm like, damn,
Nice, nice.
I'm glad I'm able to make people comfortable with that. And I mean, I just want to make sure I'm as transparent
That's
when it
dope.
comes to making people comfortable with this, because for a lot of people it's their first interview, it's their first video, it's their first time being on camera. So glad I'm that
Yeah.
safe space.
It's a good thing for any artist, you know, because it's hard to think and connect just by like, oh yeah, this guy makes good music, but like, who are they? What do they do? How do they make that music?
Yeah. And
And
then
it's a lot deep. It's a lot deeper than just the music.
that's very true. And with that, let's get everything started. Okay, so in small introduction, who are you? How do you pronounce your name? Because a lot of people get it wrong, especially if they don't hear your name in person. And I've also been a victim of that. And then also brief origin of your actual alias.
I'm Ponsuda. You know, I'm just a dude from Dallas that didn't grow up in a nice area, didn't have very much opportunities, but I found salvage through music. And that gave me like passion in life because like my parents didn't really teach me nothing. They didn't tell me, they didn't give me a direction, you know. So music was like a way to find direction in life and find confidence. So that's where the whole thing came from. The name comes from just a different language. It means inner and outer beauty in Thai. So I just felt like that's a powerful meaning in one word. It's something that I value a lot in life that I feel like a lot of Americans just forget, you know, about the inner and outer beauty. It's not just about outer beauty. So I just wanted to have my music name. And it was something unique that like when you search it, only that comes up.
It's a smart business move too. And I know I told you this, the video's probably already gonna be out, but like the Christmas video of everybody in Holy Mob at the last Dallas show, you definitely did talk about like the marketing aspect, and a lot of people need to focus on that because a lot of people forget about it. They sort of drop tapes or they drop solos and EPs and forget about the marketing aspect. So how do you think you can also relay? I would say it would basically be the same, but how do you think people can grow further in the upcoming year of 2025 when it comes to growing their platform?
If anyone is trying to be a artist in general, I think you gotta have an aesthetic. You know, like you gotta have some sort of aesthetic that is you, that you resonate with, that you can just naturally create infinite content with. That will just be you. Like when people see it, they know that's you. Find your aesthetic, and then once you have that, just push it. You know, you can make the simplest videos. It could be the simplest aesthetic, whatever. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just got to be consistent. And You got to do all of it. You can't just do some of it. And I'm trying to work on this myself. Like, you got to upload to like all the platforms, like Instagram, TikTok. Like, we should be streaming on shit like YouTube, Twitch. All the things that Ryan Celsius, all the things that he does is what all the artists should do to market themselves.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people, and I've seen it firsthand, that know him from either the music that he drops on Spotify or just the YouTube videos. It's not just a singular platform, it's multiple platforms that they're like, oh, I'll watch your YouTube streams, or I listen to your mixes, or I've seen you in person, or I listen to you on Spotify. I feel like that's definitely a good game plan for a lot of people to grow in the next upcoming year.
Share more of yourself too, like post more photos and videos of yourself, and just share who you are as a person. I think that's important.
Yeah, definitely. And transitioning, since we're already talking about Ryan Celsius, and he was also on the lineup for the actual Dallas show, we can talk about you joining Holy Mob on Volume 5. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct, that's actually your first appearance on their actual tape. Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your journey? I know you've told me like a couple of times, both in person, and I'm pretty sure you probably briefly talked about it in the last time we actually talked, when it came to having the entire Infinite crew with the exception of Trippy. What was your journey in joining Mob, if you don't mind sharing publicly for people that don't know the actual story, also being part of other collectives prior to joining Holy Mob?
Yeah, so when I first started making music, obviously, I didn't have no idea what the hell I was doing. So I was just like posting stuff on SoundCloud only. And I just kept doing that, and it just kept slowly but surely growing numbers. I found Holy Mob online, and I had hit them up, and I was like already making Phonk at this point. And I was like, yo, can I join your collective? And apparently they have voted no. Like, they do these votes anytime we make a decision like that, like a big decision, they have a vote. If you have more yeses than nos, then you're in. But I had more nos than yeses at first back then when I first started. So I just had to keep learning how to make music and get better at my craft. And I actually joined this collective called Evil Side that was created, I believe, by Necros, who is also in Holy Mob. And we was running that shit for a while. We were like a collective adjacent to Holy Mob back in the day, when Holy Mob first started, like Volume 1, Volume 2, etc. Yeah, we were really low-key running that shit up at first, but all the guys in Evil Side were they just like kind of flaked over time. They just weren't really passionate in the end, so we had to just go our own ways. But by that point, I had developed a lot throughout the time I was in Evil Side, and I had joined Holy Mob through just asking again, and they just said yes instantly, because I grew significantly amount of followers compared. I was just making good music, man, and they fucked with it. So it was just like a really easy decision for them. And yeah, we just kept building with that. There was a stint that I wasn't always proper, but that shit didn't work out because they wanted it exclusive, where I can't work with anybody else. So I couldn't leave the mob, man. So here we are.
Yeah, and I was gonna piggybacking off of that, how has the growth been versus your other collectives versus Holy Mob?
I would say like the other collectives, it was like being in a group of strangers, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really get close to anybody. Everyone has an ego, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to come together, but at the same time, they're trying to be better. But when I joined Holy Mob, it was more like a brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, we like, some people, like, we're brothers, like we bicker and whatnot, but like at the end of the day, like we all love and respect each other. So I think that's like the biggest difference. So like doing that, like anything any of us learned, we all like just flooded it to the group chat, to everyone else. Like, we just all learned off each other. We all shared, with each other through collaborating and, just doing shit together through years. And, like, I'm honestly surprised how much that shit has grown through the little that we've done, because we could have done a lot more, is what I feel like.
I do know, and especially the vlog that Vaughn just dropped. Firstly, thanks for like actually letting me crash when I was in Dallas. But I can definitely tell that Holy Mob is more than just a collective, especially like seeing all four of you, well, you, Shelter, Intius, and Vaughn, and also I know his actual name. He was working on the drop that you guys did, like your last merch drop. I feel really bad. I feel really bad, but
Who-
he's Vaughn's homie.
Oh, you're talking about Nevin.
Yeah, Nevin,
Yeah,
Markinson. Just seeing
homie.
you guys just bounce off each other. It was kind of surreal because it did seem like stuff was getting done, but also at the same time it wasn't getting done because like everybody was just chilling, cool and cooling in the house the entire day, and I was just in the background just thinking like, damn, this is actually surreal. The fact that I'm in this moment right now, like this probably won't happen for a while, and just having all these people under the same roof is really much a privilege, and I definitely I'm glad I didn't take it for granted, and I was just excited that you guys were able to like, you know, just let me chill with you guys and just see what mob was all about. Because while you or NTS, or I think even when Sahara or Varo came over, y'all were working on music, Vaughn and maybe NTS were working on the merch, and then Nevin was like helping out, moving stuff up and down. It's just like you guys are getting stuff done, but also having fun and being efficient about it at the same time.
Yeah, man. Like we're just trying to take advantage of, like you said, that limited time because the meetups don't happen very often. So yeah, we're just trying to have fun. That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, and
But
when was the last time that were you even? I'm not even sure if you were a part of Mob at the time, but I'm not sure when the last time that you guys all connected under the same roof when it was just, I guess, more than maybe two members.
yeah, man, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't go to the first two mob meetups. I was in the mob for the second one,
Hmm.
but I was too young. Like I didn't even have enough money to like pull up to that shit. Like yeah, man. Like first meetup, I don't think I was even a part of them yet or something like that. But yeah, I can't even remember the years it was, but it was a while ago. It was years ago.
Yeah, hold up. And
But
this is
yeah.
proof. This is proof. I still have this, but I still haven't framed this, but I still have like the poster and everything completely signed.
Hey,
So I don't know if that's enough proof. I'm gonna just
hey, that's hard.
I
You got
gotta
the
frame it
signatures on there.
too. I gotta frame it. I gotta find like something to frame, but I'm definitely like keeping that on every wall and like every house that I move in. My first show from this year, the last Infinite show that you guys had with Freddie, the
Yeah, yeah,
tour, and a bunch of vinyls and other stuff that's in cassettes that are over there. Like I'm just trying to build up that collection right now.
that's fire.
That's definitely, I was definitely
My room's
excited. What's up?
my room is basic as hell. I need to do what you're doing, like start decorating.
Nah, bro. Like this took. I ain't gonna lie. Like this took years. Like people see it. I've had this shit for like since maybe 2019, 2018. Like definitely, it's definitely a process in terms of like having my aesthetic. So going back to the Dallas shows, I did talk about it in like the last sentence I had, but it seems like every single time I hear like not Dallas, but every time I hear San Antonio, Dallas, and then Austin, it's always somebody is from there that makes funk, and it seems like it's the biggest network in terms of like people that make music in this small niche subgenre that both of us make. What is the bond, or what makes the scene better when it's both from and done right in Texas, or like what makes Texas different than anywhere else in the actual United States?
I mean, honestly, like Dallas music scene has always sucked. It's always been trash, like always. Dallas is a very commercial city. You know what I'm saying? It's very cookie cutter type city. There's a lot of money here, like a lot of money to be made here, but the music here was never about like underground or like about niche genres or anything like that. But on the other hand, though, like the big ass city, so there's hella people that live here. So there's hella people who make funk. It just so happens here. I think over time it's just slowly coming together, not just in Texas. Like the shows are really popping up all over. All the Dallas shows were honestly like sort of an imitation of the shows that they had going on in Denver. Like Denver is really the hub of this shit, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where like funk is probably popping the biggest right now. I think now after doing shows with Infinite.wav, like Dallas is like getting there, but we still got a lot of work to do. It's a lot of gatekeeping and it's expensive to do shows here in Dallas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I definitely
So
know it's a lot. Especially when I did my first show, it's a lot of logistical work in the background that a lot of people don't see. Especially when I learned this just from like the brief moment of just me going from A to Z when it came from being somebody in the audience to actually performing a show. Like, it's a huge difference. You got crowd control, you got tickets, you got online orders, you have security, and just getting everything set up. It's a lot of logistical work that a lot of people don't see versus just me showing up and just vibing for 4 to 5 hours. I mean, it's cool, but going from that, from just being in the crowd to actually being on the stage is a huge leap that a lot of people don't take. But in some cases, it definitely is worth it, and it shows that there is progress being made for a lot of people.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I agree. So yeah, man, anybody who's making music too, like just go around your community and network and meet people and start throwing shows in these venues around your city. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it just takes one connection, honestly, because I know it took maybe 1 or 2 DMs to have my first show, and it could probably take even less. It could probably take a phone call, maybe one text, and just, hey, you're on the lineup. Okay, cool. And then, like, next thing you know, you're planning out how you're getting there, what you're doing, et cetera, et cetera. It's really dope going from just being in that audience to being the reason why that audience is there.
Right.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's surreal.
Talking to my prior guest, or the guy that's going to be on here before you, is Trippy Man. This is going to tie into him, Infinite.wav, and also the legacy that Hymbeats has sort of had a huge impact on this entire community as a whole, because Trippy talks about him so much and gives him so much praise, and I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people that met him in person that would do the exact same. I know I didn't have the blessing to actually meet him in person, but every single time I hear somebody talk about him, it's in high praise because he's the light of the party, the light of the entire room. So how has Hymbeats personally impacted your music journey? Because I know you guys released City of Syrup, and Trippy did talk about that, but how has Hymbeats impacted your music journey?
Man, like Hymbeats was real, bro. Like he was a real genuine person. Like he was not gonna hide anything about himself to you. I respected that a lot. But the main thing is like my connection with Hymbeats was validation. I was coming up just learning and learning, getting better, like still questioning like am I even like do I even want to do this shit? Like am I doing it right? Like whatever. But I liked his music so much. Like I was listening to his shit on a regular, and then he started fucking with my shit, started reposting my music, started actually messaging me and like asking to collab with me. And like that gave me a lot of validation. Like, damn, like my music actually is connecting with people. Like it actually is really good. Like it's not just a phase. It's not just like whatever. But I came close with him because like he would just talk to me every day. Like we would just be talking every fucking day on Skype, just messaging. He was super charismatic, that's for sure. I did one show in Austin, man. I'll never forget. We did a show in Austin together for Always Proper, and like yeah, he was just hella charismatic when I met him, and neither one of us knew how to DJ at all. And it was our turn. And he somehow did that shit. I don't know how. I just watched him. But like yeah, we neither one of us knew how to like really spin decks back then. But yeah, we made that shit work.
Hell yeah, bro. And going from that, I know that's a very, when I ask certain people, it's a loaded question because it's sort of like asking how did Mythic impact your life if you've collabed with Mythic in the past. It's sort of like a similar avenue with that. So hearing different points of view and actually having it live or having people hear about it, it definitely gives people a different light, but also carries on their legacy in some way, shape, or form.
Rest in peace, Hymbeats.
God bless.
There would be no me without him. Like the way my shit sounds, like it wouldn't sound the way it does without him.
Mm-hmm. And transitioning from how Hymbeats impacted your music journey, how did connecting with Infinite.wav also improve, since both you and Trippy Main sound similar in terms of how Hymbeats motivated both of you to keep going with the music overall? So how did Infinite improve your connection when it came to let me restart that real quick.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
So how did connecting with Infinite.wav also improve your music journey? Similar to what Trippy said, you guys had a similar, not upbringing, but a similar path when it came to how you guys met him, Hymbeats, and
Right.
then you guys, by mere coincidence, both joined Infinite.wav. So how did that improve your music career?
Yeah, Infinite.wav is crazy, man. Like the Kessler, Daddy Dirty just hit me up one day out of the blue. Just like, if you ever want to pull up to the studio, just come through. We're in Richardson, Texas. And then I just fucking pulled up, and there they were. It was Infinite.wav, baby. Just, bright ideas, and Daddy Dirty just chilling. And we just chopped it up. They knew who I was from Holy Mob and like my music in the past, and they had a lot of respect for me. Like that was the whole reason they hit me up, is to like join them to do Infinite.wav together, to be a record label slash show promoter in Dallas specific. That's something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to take the next step and like learn. Like I feel like I got the art aspect down in a lot of ways, but like what about the business part? Like how am I going to get away from a day job? You know what I'm saying? Like I got to learn the business aspect of this industry, and I feel like that's what Infinite.wav has taught me. It's like how to throw a show, how to market yourself, how to network with people, all that. Like
Yeah, and I think I did name drop her when it came to like how you guys are able to drop so many reels and so many posts. But firstly, shout out to Sierra for just like, just helping manage the social media in general. And also I just want to say shout out to Dirty and everybody else when it comes to lineup like hers, Trippy, Bright, you, Sierra again, because without you guys, I don't know if like I'd be able to basically connect with you guys, especially with the last tape and the last few shows that I was actually able to go to and doing the sit downs, because without her or without any of you guys, I don't think those videos would ever happen. And that's like a part of history in terms of like both
yeah, man.
Infinite, Mob, and just like my journey on helping this community out as a whole. So it's a real blessing or like something that I feel like, I don't know, for me, I just keep going when it comes to stuff because I don't really look in the past or like in the last year. I can't remember how many videos I've dropped or how many people I've had on here, but I know it's probably over a dozen. But I always tell people it doesn't hit me. Honestly, it never hits me like the impact that I make until like I see like a number or something, or I see a message it's like, yo, Danny T, I know him, or like he makes some cool videos and some cool shit. It doesn't hit me. So because I'm like so confused. I'm like, I'm just a dude in my room that just either talks to a camera or just makes music on FL all day. So it's weird
Yeah, man.
seeing that, or just seeing somebody come up to you and just be like, yo, you inspired me. I'm like, how did I do that?
Yeah, bro, that's beautiful. Like that was like the main reason I chose music, is because, like I said, music helped me have confidence and direction when I was young. So like, if I learned when I was young, you could make a living off that. So I was like, shit, I'm trying to make a living off that too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's surreal. Like anytime you get a message from someone, telling you how your music changed their lives, or just having people come to your show and shit. It's wild.
Yeah, dude. And I know you in the last year you definitely ramped up how many shows you've actually been able to perform at. I think last show was the show after Mob that you just did. But how many shows have you done this year? I'm literally losing count at this point because I see you on a poster every few months.
Yeah, man. I think we did 12 shows. I'm pretty sure we did 12 shows 2 years ago, I think. So we did like one show per month 2 years ago. And then this past year we did like a few shows, maybe like five, six, four, something like that. I did a few shows in Denver, but honestly, bro, I don't even be keeping count. I can't tell you like specifics. Like I just love making music, and it's just a big blessing to be playing a show anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. Like I definitely know for a fact that a lot of people do so many shows, you just lose count after like the first like five or six. And
Yeah.
I also know like I'm definitely gonna be that way next year, especially when it comes to probably going to a different state and finally performing in Dallas or just finally performing in Denver. So I'm definitely excited for what's to
Yeah,
come in 2025.
absolutely.
And speaking of 2025 and there being a New Year's, we did talk earlier about your 2024 Wrapped and you having $738,000 streams. Precisely, it says 738,000. I'm gonna just go down the stats. I'm gonna go down the statistics real quick. So 738,000 streams in 2024, 109,000 listeners in 155 countries with 45 top fans as your favorite artist. We did talk about making an impact earlier, but what do those numbers make you feel or even realize in terms of the reach that you have on people?
Man, that shit honestly give me goosebumps. I never thought I would be here. I never thought I would be here. Like, I just started posting music just for fun. Like, I never thought I would have this many people streaming my music. This just goes to show, like, this is how you make it in this industry. You do shows, you drop music consistently. That's very good, and your numbers are gonna go up. You don't need a record label. You don't need a manager. Like, I don't have no fucking manager. Like, sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to cuss on here, but yeah, I don't have a I don't have a manager. I just do all this on my own, and we do the Infinite.wav stuff together. But you just gotta grind, do the boring work all day, every day.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm still trying to get used to dropping, but it's definitely, I think it's eye opening the fact how many people actually do this without a label within the last couple of years of me actually talking to people, because I know there are a lot of people that get sucked in towards like these contracts, and it kind of sucks that they have to meet a certain quota versus somebody doing this because they're passionate about it and they do it purely independent.
Yeah, man. Record labels be taking your shit, taking your dividends.
Dude, like, I remember there were a couple people that I knew that there, maybe even a few rappers that got locked into like different labels with, I don't want to, I know it was one when it happened to Sony. I think Sony Records, like years ago. I forgot who the rapper was specifically, but they had to meet a certain quota, and even when they were done with their contract, they couldn't even keep the royalties. So
Damn.
hearing people do it completely independent where they can keep everything, it's like, absolutely, I'm definitely down for it, because you're getting paid for what you do, and you're getting paid the right amount, even though a lot of people bash Spotify for, it's like, where the fuck's my money at? Especially when you get
Yeah.
payouts and everything. But it's awesome seeing people do this completely independent, and it shows that there's more of a purpose to actually do it if you are independent.
Yeah, it's a lot harder in a lot of ways when it's independent, but it's worth it in the end. You might be busy all day doing a lot of boring ass work, but it's going to be worth it whenever you start seeing organic growth through all of the hard work that you put in. And then when you start realizing you don't have to ask anybody for help because you know how to do everything, that gives you so much more empowerment to just keep going. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day is keep going. Any artist can make a hot song, but what you gonna do after that?
Yeah, sort of like how people compare themselves to like a one-hit wonder versus somebody that has a lengthy discography that might not have the same amount of plays, but they are heard more than somebody that's just a one-hit wonder and that's just one singular song that they're known for. Going into the New Year's, because I know we're doing this 3 days before Christmas. What's something that this isn't a question, but what's something that did in 2024 that you hope to do better in 2025, or what's something that you want to improve in 2025?
Well, I dropped new music every month in 2024. Like every single month, I had new music, and I want to do that in 2025. But this time, I want 12 tapes. That's what I want to do. Somehow, some way, I'm gonna figure that out. But I'm gonna try to drop 12 tapes this year, and we'll see how that goes. I just want the overall package to be better. Like every tape gonna have merch. Every tape's gonna have a kit that comes with it that anyone can buy and use. And I want to put a lot of love and work into the kits. I don't want to just have like a bunch of overused samples that everybody got. Like I want to like share my sound design and my kits and find a way to sell that. Yeah, try to find a way to have physical releases, vinyls, stuff like that. Really start building out the brand and not just be an online thing.
When it comes to the websites, Infinite has that on lock right now. Like you guys have the entire discography, merch, and then different bios when it comes to every single person that's on the actual label. So in some ways, you guys are a step ahead of everybody when it comes to being or having an online presence. So will there be a Ponsuda website like in the future? Because I know you got Infinite, you got Bandcamp. Obviously, everybody has Instagram, maybe even TikTok, depending if you hate that app or not. And then everything else under the sun.
Yes, absolutely. There's about to be a Ponsuda website 2025. Absolutely, 100%.
Hell yeah, dude. You're definitely ready for anything that comes versus a lot of people that like you always got music dropping. There's maybe off the top of my head, I can probably name like 4 or 5 people that have music ready to drop versus somebody like me where it's just like, I'm gonna just wait for a while and build up my vault real quick and just waiting for the perfect time. But I feel like you definitely have a plan in action, especially last year. I didn't even listen to it, but you had Quiet Mercenary for Evil Thoughts. Before that, you had the Sigils EP with Bright. I'm still on Sapphire Eyes right now. That's how much I know you've dropped, because you dropped those two like in conjunction with like the last 2-3 months, or like even the last time we met.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ, I don't even know like how much music you've dropped. Like I've seen your Bandcamps like a little bit, but it's just big ass discography every single time. I either see you on my feed and I'm like, another one? I'm like, God damn. So I'm like, that's a great thing that there's somebody that's consistent when it comes to dropping tapes, because we do see a lot of people not die off but sort of lose that motivation to keep going, and you
Yeah,
are
man.
probably one of those people that just keeps evolving or improving their sound and just sees a purpose and continuing to do this music journey or continue your career.
Yeah, man. I mean, the real Ponsuda fans know too that there was like a 8-month period where I didn't drop anything, and I had to go through a lot of soul searching and doubt, hard times in life to be able to get to where I'm at today.
Yeah, man,
But
because there's a lot of
it
people
all
that
comes,
take a hiatus and they never come back.
yeah, man. It all comes from just a natural flow. Anything I've ever made, like I never have to force this, that, or the third. It's just like however I feel that day, that's what I make.
It's sort of like a vibe, or like you said earlier, an aesthetic that you're trying to go for with each track. And I know I definitely hear that in a lot of your tracks as well. I know Saint Pond also has that same aesthetic when it comes to like having a vibe for a certain track, because I talk to him all the time. Like he literally lives like, I don't know, a half hour away from me, but he's definitely a homie, and like is definitely an aesthetic he's trying to go for with the overall project that he's trying to bring together in the next upcoming months and years. Earliest posters I could find, I think we went over this. You could like stop me if you want. Even before Infinite.wav, before maybe even Holy Mob, there was a lineup when it came to, and I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while, and I definitely glanced over this last time we talked, but it was the OG AP crew when it came to like having Deli, you, him, and Immune on a poster in 2017 of New Year's Eve of 2017. It's called New Year's Eve Rooftop Party, and I could probably, if this is actually on a short later in life, I could throw up the poster right now. But that is gonna be 7 years old from when we're actually dropping this video today. So what has changed, or how has that formed the live shows that are happening now, and you being a DJ and a live performer since that? Because I feel like it's something that you said earlier. If you want to just repeat it, or if there's a different answer, how has that shaped you in terms of getting ready for a set, getting ready to DJ, or getting ready for any form of a live show?
Yeah, man, that first show that you're talking about in the New Year's one, like I'm pretty sure that like that's the one where me and Hymbeats didn't know how to DJ, and we just pulled up and he somehow like did it. Like he like did like briefly practice the day before or something, and he like was able to do the transitions. So I was like a kid, bro. Like I literally was a kid. Like I had no idea what I was doing. I just got lucky in the fact that I met some really dope friends that were in Always Proper, and then I had got into Always Proper through that and through my music, obviously. So yeah, I was just a kid, man. I was honestly like starstruck, just seeing the life, seeing the life of like doing the show. Like it just happened really fast, really fast. And I feel like later on in life, when I started doing the Infinite.wav shows, it was me growing up in a way. Like I grew up to an adult, and like I started doing that kind of work with a more of an adult mindset, going into it and actually know what's going on, actually knowing how to build a set, actually knowing how to DJ, etc.
Yeah, man, because I know you definitely have practiced a lot, because I've seen the Ryan Celsius streams. I've seen the last drop that you had. I'm not sure which tape it was that he actually had on your channel, on his channel, with the mix down, but I definitely have seen a big progression with a lot of people, and I've definitely seen an improvement in my sets as well. Like, you definitely can tell the people that are actually putting the work in versus the people that are just like half-assing it. I know I half-ass like some of the sets that I do. That's just because I'm trying to be relaxed, or I'm trying to keep my composure when it comes to like keeping it a low profile or low stressful environment. But you can definitely see who puts the work in versus the people that just plug in their USB and just roll with the punches, I guess.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine doing that. I mean, I don't practice super heavy with DJing, but I definitely like know a lot of the basics, and I'm definitely very intentional with my sets. Like I make all of my sets in FL Studio, like the whole entire hour set. I just make all the transitions and everything, make sure it's perfect in FL, and then I just like replicate it on the decks by playing it live and like doing all the effects I did in FL live. It's very fun. It's a very fun process to me to do it that way. That's how I like to simplify the process, and it comes out very smooth.
And we are currently, damn, we're 46 minutes. I thought we were about 50 minutes, but we can't. I'm gonna just have guest call outs and guest questions, and then I'm gonna bring a few more things up later in the next like minute or so. But any guest call outs? I know off the top of my head, let me think. I know it was Inoclips that recommended you for a solo episode. I definitely remember it to this day. I think he was either the third or fourth person that I ever did a video with, and I want to get him back on for another one, because he, like, hands down, like, that was probably one of my favorite videos that I with somebody, because that dude is funny as shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is funny as hell.
Like, just live personality and everything. Blunt, doesn't give a fuck. God bless, like, the Bills for beating the Chiefs. That's all. That's the last DM I had with him. That was like, as soon as like I saw the score, dude, I texted him and I was like, "Yo, thank you." I didn't care like anything else that day, but I was like,
Yeah, man. Respect to that.
yeah, I was like, fuck the Chiefs the entire week.
The Chiefs, they're the new Patriots.
Yeah, in terms of like that era of having a dynasty, like I could definitely see the resemblance. No one liking them at all.
Yeah, exactly. Tired of seeing their ass win.
Exactly, dude. Speaking of knock lips, the guest call out was you. I finally got you for a solo episode, even though been done, and I should have been
Yeah,
had you on here, but like,
true,
life gets in the way, and et cetera, and then holidays on top of that. But who is somebody that you would want to see? And I know last time you said Entius. Would that also be the same now, if possible, or would that answer change?
Man, I recommend everyone in the mob, straight, like all of them, any of them, one by one, knock them out, bow, bow, bow. And then, you know what I'm saying, all of them, even the South American guys, like Necros, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people, a lot of people in Dallas even who asked me about him. So definitely Necros, do an interview with him, man. He's so secretive and he don't want to like share nothing with nobody, man. He needs to share himself with his fan base and get an interview out there or something. Trying to think who else. Sudier, DJ Young Vamp, get them boys on here.
There's three people that I emailed. I think Smooth Sounds. I emailed Loud Lord, and I emailed Cloudbug, and I haven't heard a response from anybody yet so far.
And them guys.
Yeah, I think the only person that actually reached out to me was Smooth Sounds. Like, he's on the brink of like being bigger, like as big as Ryan, in terms of like the YouTube aspect, not sort of Instagram or TikTok, et cetera, et
Mhm.
cetera. But he is definitely up there when it comes to like numbers, when it's different mixes on YouTube. but he definitely knows who all of us are. He knows who the hell I am, which was really shocking. But I think he is similar to, I'm guessing, how Cloudbug and Loud Lord, not Loud Lord, but similar to like how Cloudbug wants to keep that anonymity or being anonymous. I would say it's gonna take baby steps to actually get in front of a camera, talk in front of hundreds of people at this point, which is still shocking to me that there are hundreds of people that watch these videos. But yeah, I definitely respect it, and I'll give them as much time as they need before, you know, just hopping on a call with me.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
And then
Infinite.wav too, those guys.
I really want to do like another one with everybody on there, especially Trippy. I know it's not gonna be at the old HQ or like Kessler's house, but
Yeah,
it was definitely fun seeing it before like basically he moved out and everything.
yeah, man.
That entire weekend was awesome. When it came to like Freddie, Rocket Man, and everybody else, it was an awesome time.
That was a great weekend indeed. I agree with.
Last thing would have to be guest questions. So anything that you will want to ask me, I think that would be about close to an hour, depending on if you have any guest questions.
Question for you: what's your favorite track of mine?
Can I cheat real quick? Because I'm not gonna lie, like I'm actually shocked that I'm gonna look at my on repeats because I definitely have a lot of shit from the on repeats. I definitely have like some on repeats. I know from Sapphire Eyes, it's the very first one that was the last one I ever listened to with Everest, and I remember you played it. I think you probably played it at the beginning of your set because I was like, huh, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's a fire track with Everest.
But I think I would say All of Love Hurts, especially the one that you did with Trippy. The song that you did with Trippy and the song that you did with Rocket Man. Like those are my favorite. One that slept on that I think is my favorite is Jazzy Hose. Because I remember I Shazammed that track when Corey came to Baltimore. And I didn't know what it was, but it was probably the cleanest track that he actually had in his set.
That's fire.
I still have that shit on repeat. I don't know why it's not in my on repeats, but I know for a fact like that's my favorite track that you've actually made this year. And I know that because like Kessler talked about it when we actually did talk to each other, I think earlier this year in January or February, I was like, yeah, when this comes out, I'm gonna listen to this shit like clockwork.
Yeah, that's love.
The one with Cloudbug, 22s, people are gonna say Orange Fanta and What's Your Life Like because it's probably the two biggest tracks that you actually have, but I'm gonna just say that. And then
My biggest track ever is Desire.
yeah,
That's a big one.
yeah, like over 500,000, 615,000. I think.
Yeah, man, I damn near that track.
You say that again? Can you say that again
So
real quick?
damn near get a plaque off of that track.
Yeah, dude. In terms of mob tracks, fucking Christ, there's a lot of them. I gotta look.
It's hard. There's so many amazing tracks, amazing artists.
I could go on for days, I think.
Honestly, Intia's track on Volume 1, that might be the hardest funk track of all time.
Basically, I have the entire discography of Holy Mob on here because I listen to it religiously. I think Volume 8, this Scoping, which was a solo track that you had on a tape, was my favorite. And then like the first 5 to 7 tracks of Volume 8 are all my favorites. I sound like a fucking fanboy right now. Like I ain't gonna lie.
It's all love, man.
But I definitely have a lot of fun just meeting all of you guys, and it's really cool to like see the photos that you guys are using and being like, yo, I was there, I know them, I'm cool with them, I fuck with them. I'm way too
Makes it real.
I'm way too privileged right now, and I need to like like be like, yo, this is crazy that this is actually happening.
It's very surreal that you even have that perspective, man. Because like to me, I'm just like I was just a kid yesterday type shit.
Yeah, dude. I know like one thing is there's like two different aspects or avenues that I have when it comes to like meeting people. Firstly, I don't want to have an ego with anybody. People can have an ego back and be like, I got more streams or plays than you. Like it's not gonna help anybody if you're just bashing each other off of like the little things when it comes to like numbers. Yeah, you want to grow, but if you can grow with somebody else, that makes everything a lot better. And 2, when I meet somebody that I look up to, and I'm pretty sure like I told people like if I ever quit Phonk or like stop doing this, I've basically succeeded in everything that I ever wanted to do. Like I performed live, I've met all the people that I listened to. I've literally traveled the entire country alone in some ways to like see all the people that I listened to for like the last 5 years. And the only thing that I could check off my bucket list is probably collaborating with people, like in terms of like actually making music rather than just videos. But I could comfortably say like if I quit tomorrow, I basically achieved everything I wanted to do in the actual scene, and I'd be content with that. But I just want to keep going when it comes to making videos or just making music, which I'm hoping I drop more next year.
Sir, it's beautiful, and I resonate with you in all of that. Like, I feel like I accomplished everything I want to do, and that's to connect with people through my music. And now I'm connecting with a lot of people, so just gotta keep pushing it.
Yeah, dude, definitely. And definitely want to push out all the names of the people that I've either had on a video or that I met in person, because God, like me having Eric, Everest, Vaughn, in the future in Intius, and then Anocalypse, Ryan, etc., etc. Like I could literally go down the list of the amount of people that I met because of both the videos and the live show videos or the vlogs that are soon to come out. I'm basically just coasting and I'm not even realizing it, or it's not hitting me, because there's so many people that, like I said earlier, you have 45 top fans, and me meeting you, the fuck? Why, like, out of everybody in the world, me? Like, it's crazy.
Wait till them guys like Roland Jones and Soudier are over here in the U.S. more. Shit's gonna get crazier.
Yeah, definitely. And I know one thing I do want to move with in the future is when live shows actually happen, I just want to get like a rundown or a recap, similar to like what Sierra had us do at the actual Mob House.
Yeah,
We were doing that in Dallas.
those are
Like,
important.
yeah, like that was like something that I would never think of. And because she was there, she gave me the idea. I had my camera, and that might probably be the biggest video that will ever drop this entire year. And I'm not banking on it, but I know for a fact that there are a lot of people that want to see that. A lot of insight. I think it's about 40 or 50
I'm very
minutes. It's about 40 or 50 minutes. It goes from
Sheesh.
Shelter, you, NCS, and
Who
Vaughn.
had the longest?
It's between you and Vaughn. I know
Okay.
you guys had like, I tried to like make it even like 10 to 15 minutes. I know NCS, I'm glad I was able to like make him seem like chill and relaxed, because he was like, yo, I'm kind of nervous because it's like his first time ever being asked questions in person. I'm like, I'm just gonna roll with the punches at this point. But I think it was really cool, and I was actually shocked like everybody was down to do it in the first place. It was awesome.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be huge for Holy Mob in of itself. It'd be a perfect way for us to connect with the people who are listening to our music all these years.
And I know one thing, and I did do something with another record label. This was like the last video I ever did. It's been like, I don't know, like a month or so. But one thing I do want to say, since I would say I'm comfortable with all of you guys, if that be a possibility, I probably have to run it through every single one of you, is if there's small percentage possibility that I could have all of you guys on one video. Like, and I mean the entire roster. I don't know how possible that is, and I don't know like if that can
That sounds
actually happen.
fun, bro.
I'm
That
definitely down to
sounds
do it.
fun. Yeah, I mean, I can ask them. Just put it in the chat, see what's up.
I know it's gonna be like disorderly, and it's gonna be,
The hardest part is like all the different time zones at the same
yeah,
time. That's the hard part.
yeah, like that's the
But
biggest thing that we ran into when it came to different time zones. So, like, you're an hour behind, I'm an hour ahead. Like, that's pretty simple, versus like someone I would talk to in Germany, or somebody that I would talk to or anywhere in Europe. It's like, why are you waking up right now? So,
yeah, man, we got folks in Canada, US, Texas, New York, Florida, damn, South America, everywhere.
but if you guys are able to do it in like the next maybe 2 or 3 months, I can definitely find the time, and I definitely will be available to see if that's a possibility.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit them up, see what they say. I think also it'd be a good idea if you like hit Fawn up with that idea and see what he says too.
I did rebound the video that's coming out Wednesday to him, and I told you, I think I told Shelter yesterday or this morning, and I gotta tell NTS. But if I'm able to do one label, I can definitely do like all of you guys. Like I'm definitely down to do that.
We need to all get together anyways, because we kind of drift apart. As everybody gets older, we all do our own thing. So it's always nice to get together and like connect again on a deeper level.
I would say similar to how I did the last video with the last label I did, ODR. They want to look back at the video in the future and see like what changed or like what goals they actually manifested when they talked about that in the video that I did with them. So that's also another aspect that I feel like can definitely help with you guys as well. So you can go in the past and be like, oh, that's my goal and I achieved that in this amount of time. Definitely gonna hit everybody up with that.
Blessing. I'm gonna check that video out too.
And then any more guest questions that you have? I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit.
Oh no, you're good. I guess the last question I have for you, from a fan's perspective, like how do you think I'm doing? Like, do you think I'm just killing that shit, or like, do you think there's a lot of things that like maybe I could do a little better at?
Like how they described you on like the Infinite website is probably like the perfect definition of like what you actually do, which is basically like he's a master of everything. I think one thing I would say, and this isn't just for you, this is for literally anybody that watches my videos, like there has to be like more YouTube videos of people's like faces on it. Like you're doing great when it comes to like the Instagram promo. Getting those videos on different platforms like TikTok, YouTube Shorts can definitely be like something that you can do next year. That's something that I also have to work on because I don't utilize TikTok as much, and I know there's a large platform on TikTok for this type of music as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one thing I would say can definitely benefit you like in the future, especially when you drop certain tracks. And even you can drop old snippets of like your old tracks and just have them in that format for TikTok as well. When it comes to being consistent, that's also a great thing since you basically drop monthly, because a lot of people, like I said earlier, people don't drop often, or they drop once a year and then go back to doing their own thing. And I mean, life gets in the way of that. But if you want to do this full time, this is a great avenue to do it and keeping it consistent. It's pretty simple, I'm not gonna lie, but I know a lot of people forget about it, and I also forget about it because I'm like, I don't want to fucking open up TikTok while I'm uploading this on Instagram. Like that's way too much work right now.
Yeah, it's just tedious.
Yeah,
Tedious
like
shit.
it's tedious, and it will take like, I don't know, like an extra 5 or 10 minutes, but I'm like, fine, whatever, like I'll just suck it up right now and just like have it upload at the same time. But I think you're doing a great thing when it came to like collaborating with Shadow and Quiet Mercenary, because
Oh yeah, bro.
a lot of people don't
There's
collaborate
there's
with
a lot
rappers.
more of that coming 2025. A lot more of that.
Like original vocals, original tracks. Like that's one thing that I know a lot of people need to work on in the future, because I'm tired of the same fucking 3-6 Mafia Juicy J vocals, dog. Like I love the track, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but like if I hear Project Pata on like 20 more fucking flips, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna actually go crazy.
That's one thing about my music, is that, you know, it really does come from my heart and soul. So any samples in there is music that I truly love in that moment, or, you know, just love in general. And I always try to use stuff that like people haven't flipped before, or if it has been flipped before, I at least try to flip it in a way that is like totally creatively different. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, if you were bigger, it seems like you would definitely have everything jam packed, because I know Studio doesn't promote as much as you do, or like any of the bigger names, they don't promote as much as like you, or like, or anybody that does this as consistently.
You know, the reason I dropped so much is because one day I told myself, like, I'm gonna just keep dropping until I got the same size fan base as Soudier. That was like a long time ago. I told myself that because he's like, we're in the same genre, so it's like a comparable thing to reach. But yeah, I mean, the longer it takes to get there, the more I learn, and I'm honestly very blessed that it's taken this long to, you know, build a solid foundation and start going far with it.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice side to see it in.
I'm way more equipped, you know.
From a fan perspective, thank you for like, you know, like meeting me in person. Like I'm gonna keep saying it until like I stop saying it. I'm like, yo, hit me up whenever you got any free time. Always grateful to like meet people that I listen to on a daily basis. And I listen to Young Demon, Space, RJ, Studier, NTS, literally everybody that I met listen to them on a daily basis.
Yes, sir.
So
That's how it is.
definitely a fan before everything. Yeah, bro. Any more guest questions if you have any? We just hit an hour. It's gonna be
Word up.
more cut down, maybe less than an hour, but the fine unedited version is 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, man, I think we killed that shit, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said earlier, calm, collected, comfortable, gotta make sure, I make sure everybody's, relaxed and able to share their opinions on everything, definitely a relaxed environment. So any shout outs that you want to give anybody, any promotion that you have of future tapes, because I know you probably have something in the vault right now that you're probably working on before we actually wrap up.
Yeah, I got a tape coming out on Christmas Day called Minty Boys. That's gonna be a collaborative tape with Daddy Dirty. We collabed on 6 tracks together, so we could drop it out on Christmas Day. Other than that, I'm gonna be dropping a tape called Ponsuda in January, so y'all look out for that shit. Shout out to all the people who inspired me, everyone in Holy Mob. Shout out to Sudier, DJ Smokey, Roland Jones, Loud Lord, Slight. Shout out to Wave and Witch House, Sidewalks and Skeletons, Brothel, all them guys, and for what they do, because that also inspired me a lot to be where I'm at. Yeah, man. Shout out to all my fans who listen to my music. That's pretty much it. Shout out to you for being a voice for all the people in this community.
I'm just passionate about this genre. I'm passionate about the music that I listen to. So anything that I can do to help the people that I listen to is just a addition to what I'm doing right now.